Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Mid-South Wrestling Television. I'm your host, Boyd Pearson. As usual, we have a lot of exciting action coming up. It'll be headlined by a North American Heavyweight Championship match as the Junkyard Dog defends his title against the challenge of Bob Roop. The cinema idol and a man of 1,000 holds from Mexico, Mil Mascaras, is here, along with international star Super Destroyer. Also, Mr. Wrestling 2, the new national champion in the ring against Arn Anderson, and controversy is swirling around the Mid-South Tag Team Champions. And the man to tell you about it, our guest commentator of the week, Bill Watts. Bill?
Well, thank you, Boyd. A lot of excitement, as you said. And, of course, the Mid-South Tag titles are very controversial right now because Ted DiBiase, due to his broken, in quotes, hand, has signed a power of attorney where Boris Zhukov, representing him in all Mid-South Tag title matches. And we were scheduled to have Johnny Rich and Hacksaw Duggan go for the title matches here today on television. We were going to have 2 championship matches for the people at home. But DiBiase says he doesn't trust Zhukov to handle the Mid-South Tag titles because Rich and Duggan beat him here 2 weeks ago. But he said also his doctor has not released him. Therefore, he will not let them represent him, and he won't wrestle either. But Zhukov and Olympia are very upset, and they said they've re-challenged Johnny Rich and Hacksaw Duggan here today for a rematch from 2 weeks ago. We'll have that. 2 weeks ago, we were to have Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Junkyard Dog against Zhukov and Olympia for the Mid-South Tag title. But there was an altercation between the Junkyard Dog and Butch Reed that DiBiase came in and Pearl Harbored the dog. It made it a lot easier for Butch Reed to slap him around. The match then, the title match, was canceled. But Jim Duggan, an enraged Jim Duggan, took Johnny Rich and said, I'll take him on anyway. It became a non-title match because that wasn't who they'd signed the title bout with. And they eliminated almost Johnny Rich, but they weren't reckoning with the heart and the courage and the tenacity of an enraged bull, Hacksaw Duggan. Let's watch those closing moments 2 weeks ago. And taught him some respect, and there comes Hacksaw, and he's in there firing away on both of them. Oh, he just threw Boris Zhukov, had Mr. Olympia body slammed Zhukov, body slammed Olympia. This war may not get over with the television time remaining, Boyd Pierce, but it's been a pandemonium day here. Hacksaw Duggan is out. Oh, Olympia loading that boot. Olympia's loading that boot. Johnny Rich sacrificed himself. Johnny Rich sacrificed himself and took that, whatever that foreign object was on that boot that Olympia had for Hacksaw Duggan from behind. Johnny Rich showed his courage, took it to his head, but now both are on Duggan, and Johnny Rich is stunned outside the ring on the concrete floor. Double clothesline, Zhukov with his powerful neck breaker that has devastated so many. And Olympia keeping Johnny Rich out of the way. Oh, Duggan got out of the way. Hacksaw Duggan, he's not down until you nail the lid shut on him. He's a fighter. Now Olympia calling for help, and they're both on him, 2-on-1. They went for the clothesline. Duggan clotheslined both of them. Hacksaw Jim Duggan clotheslined them both, and now he's showing them some shoe leather. Olympia staggered up. Duggan's got them both. Boyd Pierce, Johnny Rich sacrificed, but Jim Duggan may pull the impossible. He may whip both of them. 2 minutes of airtime remaining. Oh, Duggan got out of the way. That's 6 cents. The spear. He speared Zhukov. Zhukov out on the floor. Mr. Olympia up, and Duggan's got him body slam. And Johnny Rich is groggy, doesn't know where he is. Duggan checking on him. And Duggan speared Mr. Olympia. He's tagged Johnny Rich. What a heart. Hacksaw Duggan's tagged Rich and just thrown Rich across. He just threw Rich across Mr. Olympia. He gave Rich the victory. He gave Rich the victory. Johnny Rich still doesn't know where he is. That's the kind of heart Duggan has. When Johnny Rich sacrificed for him, Duggan paid him back by giving that youngster the biggest victory of his whole career here on Mid-South. Well, as I said earlier, Ted DiBiase claims his so-called broken hand has not yet been released by the doctor. So again, we don't have the title match because DiBiase says no longer can Zhukov represent him in title bouts. But Zhukov and Olympia have challenged Duggan and Rich for a rematch. They said they weren't set for this team 2 weeks ago. And you hear the crowd roaring, let's go to Reisor Bowden, because that match is ready to go in the ring, a non-title bout.
This is a non-title tag team event for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. In the red corner, representing the Mid-South tag team titles at 244 pounds, Mr. Olympia. And his partner, also managed by General Skandor Akbar at 270 pounds from Russia, Boris Zhukov. In the blue corner at 270 pounds from New York City, Hacksaw Duggan. And his partner at 237 pounds from Tennessee, Johnny Rich.
Tag team action now. Hacksaw Jim Duggan and popular Johnny Rich's partner against Mr. Olympia and Russian Boris Zhukov, and of course General Skandor Akbar. Where there's money, he's somewhere around. Alfred Neely called for the bell. Bill Watts is ready.
Well, that's an ugly man. If ugly could win matches, Boris Zhukov would be a world champion. But he's against a double tough one. Oh, Duggan caught him at one, but missed that left roundhouse. The wind almost blew him back. And Hacksaw Duggan's out there, and he's after him. And Mr. Olympia, a tippy-toe bandit outside the ring there. I'll say one thing about Johnny Rich. He gives it his all when he's out there. And, you know, 2 weeks ago, when Olympia was coming from behind on Duggan with that loaded boot, Johnny Rich sacrificed himself, and I think that kind of heart and courage has kind of endeared him to big Hacksaw Duggan, and Duggan's taking him as a partner out there today. Coming up following this, the new national champion, Mr. Wrestling 2. He won that title in the Omni in Atlanta last week, and he'll be making his first appearance since winning that title. And then Bob Roop against the Junkyard Dog for the North American title, and there, Boris Zhukov gets tripped up, and Johnny Rich is out there showing that he can move right with him, and Mr. Olympia firing away, and the General's upset. Now another packed house here at the Irishman Neal Boys Club for the television taping. Alfred Neely in the ring. Whoa! Mr. Olympia tried for a body slam, but Johnny Rich went behind him, and then, oh boy, the action's almost too fast to call. It's a good thing it's television. Boris Zhukov in on Johnny Rich. And I'm sure that this big team wants to keep Johnny Rich in there. They don't want Duggan in there. Duggan's an enraged man. DiBiase, they're claiming, is not really even hurt. DiBiase has shown Grizzly Smith a set of x-rays. We don't know for sure. No way of proving if they're of his hand or somebody else's. He claims these are the x-rays of his doctor, and his hand is not quite healed. Of course, as we saw with the Junkyard Dog's case, he did a lot of damage with that cast from behind on the dog when Butch Reed was slapping the dog around. And the dog was going for the throat. But right here, it's hot and heavy. Oh, Boris Zhukov and Johnny Rich both collided. Both men stunned. Alfred Neely doing the count. Listen to this crowd. They're cheering for Johnny. This crowd, they look. Akbar, I couldn't tell he was going over there to get his man out of there. Atomic drop. Mr. Olympia really powering away there. Oh, Duggan tripped Olympia from the outside. Hacksaw Jim Duggan hadn't forgotten the tactics that made him such a rebel, and he tripped. Oh, Johnny Rich has got him pinned. Johnny Rich has got him pinned, but Neely's with the referee, and Zhukov is in there. All four men in the ring, boy. It's just into a Donnybrook. Oh, Alfred Neely got clobbered, and Johnny Rich out on the floor, but Hacksaw Duggan, he's pounding Boris Zhukov. He's caught Mr. Olympia. Here comes Ted DiBiase with that cast. He lowered the boom on Johnny Rich with that cast. He's going for Duggan, but Duggan's caught him. The big chief. Oh, look at the cast. Big Duggan is cramming that cast in. Duggan's ripped it. Look at the glove. DiBiase has the glove, and DiBiase's hand's not hurt. He's got the glove, and now Akbar's kicking Duggan. DiBiase loading the glove. Deliberately, DiBiase is punishing Duggan. He's pounding Duggan. He's pounding Duggan. Tim Horner came trying to help DiBiase. Just decked him. He just decked our Cruz. Duggan just powered out. Hacksaw Duggan just powered out, went for DiBiase and Akbar, but couldn't catch him. They got on their skates and got out of there, but Hacksaw Duggan, he's tearing everything down. DiBiase, there's a spear. Duggan thrown Johnny Rich over the top of the man. Alfred Neely's back in the ring. Neely's made the count. Duggan still looking for DiBiase and Akbar, but he didn't get to him. Jim Duggan, I don't know how he did it, boy.
Feeling enraged and outraged, Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Johnny Rich. Action galore all over the store, and he's still pummeling there on Boris Zhukov off across the way, while outside the ring has taken his as Mr. Olympia. We'll be back with more action after this word.